out of sodium acetate and water. Okay. So in this case, my solvent is water, and oftentimes water is the solvent. My solute is sodium acetate. Okay. So when you mix two things together, you can make a saturated solution if you put as much of the solute as possible into the solvent. This is how much water I used to make this solution, and I used 2 trays full, 100 grams of this stuff. Okay, and this is what I ended up with. So what I had to do to dissolve this much solute into my water is heat it up. Okay, and I heated it up, and I added it, and I stirred it, and I added it, and I stirred it until I got this, and then it cooled down. So this has now become something called a supersaturated solution, and a supersaturated solution is where the solvent, the water, is actually holding more dissolved solute than it should be able to. So there's more of this dissolved in the water than is possible. And the way we do that is by heating something up, because as you heat something up, you can dissolve a lot more in there. And then when it cools down, it becomes a supersaturated solution. It's kind of like when you're making iced tea. You heat up the tea, you stir in all the sugar you want, and then you cool it back down. If you just stir sugar into a cold glass of iced tea, it doesn't usually dissolve very well. Okay. So on here I have just a little bit of this, something called a seed crystal. And we add a seed crystal to a supersaturated solution, all the solute falls out of it. So if this works, it could be cool. But I'm just going to pour this onto my seed crystal here, carefully. And all the solute's coming out of it. And I get a tower of sodium acetate. So at room temperature, this solution can't hold as much of the sodium acetate as I've dissolved in there. It's just, I've kind of tricked it into doing that, and that's a supersaturated solution. So as you're coming up when you're leaving, if you want to check that out, you can.